You've known Senator Town for a long time here. You mentioned in your speech that there aren't very many members who you would do this for, at this point in your life, travel to support. Can you just tell me again why you feel so strongly about Jim Talent?
Well, I thought, Jim, when I served with him in the House, always had a heart to listen to people, to hear what they were saying, as opposed to listening to respond. And I think politicians tend to listen just to respond to what you're saying, as opposed to really hearing what you're saying. And I think when you do that, you'll find that, people that disagree with you, they make good points sometimes, if you hear them. Different constituencies, bring different perspectives, different values, different experiences. And again, I think Jim and Brenda understood that life's journey brings different experiences. We may grow up in different neighborhoods, may be of a different faith, grow up in different parts of town, maybe in different political parties. And I think as elected officials, the fact that we have constituents that might disagree with us, we still owe them the respect to say, you might disagree with me, but I'm still your senator. I'm still your member of Congress. So I think just having the heart to do that makes a world of difference in public service.
Aside from this Missouri race, nationally there's kind of a anti-incumbent sentiment right now. What do you think about that? And do you think that in many cases is that voter anger or with the direction of the country, or?
Oh, I think it's a lot of different things. The talking heads, and I am a talking head because I'm an analyst for a cable network. We all have our opinions, and operatives will, look at polling data and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a lot of different things. And I tell you, the one thing that I point to more than anything else, two things actually. One, as a minister, my father said to me once, who was a pastor, and when I was ordained, he said to me, he said, I'm going to tell you what an old minister told me when I was ordained. He said, in the area of service, he said, when you find yourself in a ditch, he said, usually you've dug it yourself. And he also shared with me, he said, when ego and power mesh, that is a very dangerous thing. And in public service, when ego and power mesh, it is usually that intersection you find is usually when an elected official says, what I want is more important than what the American people want. And I think you got that in both parties today. And in the movie Gladiator, Maximus was going out to take on the Caesar's gladiators. And in that movie, the one thing I take from that is we saw a gladiator, a peon gladiator, become more powerful than a Caesar. And the reason we saw that is because he was willing to lead the people. His manager said, if you want to be successful, he said, win the crowd. And we don't work to win the people, to win the crowd anymore. We become more concerned about what Republicans or Democrats want. And that's another thing that I've always been impressed with Jim. I've seen him take tough votes. I've seen him do the unpopular things. But in the end, they ended up being right in spite of the fact that they were not popular. So, I just think I think that's where we are. And it's a lot of uneasiness in the country today. There's gas prices. We see those coming down. Iraq, all of those things factor into it. But I think at the end of the day, the people that gets reelected are those people that really, they really have shown that they have a heart for service and to represent their constituents.